Wednesday, August 13, 2025 at 1:31 p.m. And this is the date and time set for the public meeting of the Other Post-Employment Benefits Trust Fund, also known as OPEB. Brianna, good afternoon.
Good
Could you
afternoon.
please provide us with a roll call of the OPEB members?
Yes. Chair Razor,
Here.
Vice Chair Ganger,
Here.
Trustee Fisher.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Thank you, Brianna. At this time, the public is invited to comment on and discuss any topic that is relevant to or within the authority of this public body. Seeing and hearing no comments from the public, I will close public comment at this time and we'll move forward to our next agenda item 4A, which is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting on Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
I have.
Yes.
Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Sure. I'll make a move. I move to approve the minutes of May 28, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving forward to agenda item 5A, which is the discussion and possible action regarding the OPEB Trust Fund earning reports for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2025. With us, we have CFO Sherry Russell-Benaboo.
Thank you. For the record, Sherry Russell-Benaboo, CFO. So our earnings report is looking pretty good this year. It's almost exactly the same as last year. Last year we had about 490,000. It was interesting. So for the Carson City Investment Pool, that's just our little operating amount. That amount with the fair market value adjustment is $3,302.02. This is not quite finalized LGIP. We were waiting for the statement. So this is very, very close to what it will be when we get the audit. And then for RBIF, where most of the investments, the cash in this fund is held, we have interest earnings of $114,669, gains and losses of $373,074, and little fees from the RBIF of $1,164. And all of that totals earnings for the year of $489,881.37. That is an earnings ratio of 9.5%. And last year it was 12.6%, just because the balance was a little lower, but it was the exact same interest earnings. So that's all I had, unless there were any questions.
Any member have any questions?
No.
No questions.
All right, does anyone wish to make a motion on this agenda item?
I will. I move to approve the OPEB Trust Earnings Report as presented.
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to agenda item 5B, which is the discussion and possible action regarding the OPEB Trust activity for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2025. Again, CFO Sherry Russell-Benaboo.
Thank you very much. And again, I did try to take into account all of the activity. However, the books do not close until 8:30, so it is possible that something will adjust slightly when we do the final financials. However, here I'm showing all the revenues and all the expenses for the year. And in a perfect world, if nobody retired and nobody passed away or left the plan, the profit and loss would be zero every month. However, we always have people leaving and coming on the plan, and so there's always timing lags when we add or remove people from the plan. So at the end of this year, there was a little timing lag of about $3,800. The investment income is there, and then we did have a $800,000 deposit, and that is from last year, fiscal year 24. We did miss the June 30th date, so it didn't get deposited until I think 7/2, and so that was the first $400,000. And then the current year, we did make sure and get that in before June 30th, so that's the other $400,000. So total cash we have right now is $5,179,145 as of 6/30. There's a little bit of deferred revenue. We have one member that pays his premiums early for the next 3 months. So that's what that is. That's going to be premiums for July through September. And then the beginning fund balance there was the beginning of the year with the current year earnings. So our total assets and net position tie. Do you have any questions, comments?
Anyone have a question?
No questions.
No questions. I move to approve the OPEB trust activity as presented.
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. All righty, moving on to agenda item 6A, which is discussion only. It's the date for the next meeting of the Carson City OPEB Trust Fund Board of Trustees. And so to keep with our regular 3-month schedule of meetings where we do it February, May, August, and November, and looking at November of 2025, there's 4 possible dates, I guess, if we consider Wednesdays. Wednesday, November 26th, I know is right before Thanksgiving, so I don't know if anybody wants to do that day, but if not, we could look at Wednesday, November 5th, Wednesday, November 12th, and Wednesday, November 19th.
I would ask not the 5th, just because that last statement comes in at the very end of October, so I'd have a hard time turning it around and getting the agenda out by the 5th.
Anybody have any concerns about November 12th or 19th?
I'm good with either date.
And I'm open to.
If it's going to be difficult getting the agenda out by the 5th, then you should probably go for the 19th.
Thank you, sir. So we will move for Wednesday, November 19, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. All right, moving forward to our final public comment. The public is invited at this time to comment on any matter that is not specifically included on the agenda as an action item. Please note that no action may be taken on a matter raised under this item of the agenda. Do we have any comment? Are you seeing and hearing no comments from the public? I will close public comment at this time. And having no further action items or agenda items, I will adjourn today's publicly scheduled OPEB meeting. Thank you.